What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat. I'm here on the official Twitch channel on a Friday night with Flex from TWF Gaming. We just power rated The Disciple, and no spoilers because I want you to go watch that video, but he may or may not have been one of the best free tier characters we've ever rated. Flex, do you think Boss Man is going to fare anywhere close to what Brutus just got?
He could, but he needs some stuff, and we'll talk about that.
All right, so he needs some stuff. He needs some stuff. So I am thinking running him the move damage setup. We can discuss back and forth move damage or botch damage for you, Flex. How are you going to run him?
I don't like pigeonhole cards. I don't like using against a certain class tier, hardcore. I don't like those types of builds. I just don't. So for me, in my video, my preview, I focused on a rumble type build. So it was the black red build with the botch plate. So I did the 8 botch plate, a black rumble, a red rumble, and the radical plate. So that's what I did in my particular build. But there's other ways to run him to get good damage. The most I think I got out of him was like 75 or 80 million or something like that. So, but he needs some stuff,
He needs some stuff, yeah. So let's talk about that. I was planning on, I figured we'd end up being on different sides of this, and that's good. So we can kind of show both ways and then decide which one we're going to power rate. But the way I've got him running, I called him in the preview video the Jacob Fatu Destroyer, because he's got 7 MP black, leg trap enziguri, deal damage, increase your red MP by 10. If the opponent generates a multiply gem, deal damage and steal the multiply gems and steal their turn. 9 MP, but that doesn't matter because it's all loaded by the first move there. Back elbow smash, deal damage, force your opponent to skip their turn if the opponent's class is acrobat. So this is where, like Flex is saying, you got to remember who you going up against. I do think it's a lot easier when it's just remember that this is a character that fights the class they have advantage over, as opposed to like if their style is defensive, which I'm going to get to in a minute, then do that. So to me, that's open enough, but it's going to force them to skip their turns. And if you're facing an acrobat, you're going to deal damage, increase your red move damage by 100%. And then finally, the Boss Man Slam. Note that there's 2 Boss Man Slams in here. Both of them are finishers. Both of them are 10 MP. Both of them have the same icon, so make sure it's the one that does 5 million damage and gain 10 black MP and then pin the opponent. But then also, if the opponent's class is defensive, you'll deal another 5 million damage. So there's just a lot. There's a lot going on with this setup, Flex. So we'll also show the botch build, but this one you're targeting acrobats.
Yep.
So on your trainers,
okay. People can play that way, and again, everyone plays differently. I don't play a mode to be like, hey, I did my solo stuff, I'm done. Like I don't believe in that kind of gameplay. I don't like selfish gameplay that way. But I understand people, and that's their style. That's what their faction is what it is. We don't have requirements or anything like that in our group. People have the expectation if you want to be at a certain level, this is what's required by the game, and by the meta, right? It has nothing to do with us. We don't put Rex out. We don't do 2% needed for this. We don't do that stuff. We never believed in it. And if other factions do it, that's fine. But for me, like, I want to have a card that I can use against anybody at any time versus something that's going to be like a Bob Orton type of card. But this is a good build because it has a stun component. Nobody really uses anti-stun anymore. So you kind of control. So even if you don't get max damage out of the first turn, you're going to win turn 2.
Right.
And it's good. And it's generally going to be an acro in the lineup, except if you find mine, you're probably not going to see an acro in there. Generally, just because I'm just that kind of guy. But it's okay. A lot of players do use, especially a lot of free to play. They like that type of thing, and they just kind of mix and match. Hey, even if I see that it's required to have a powerhouse in a lineup, like I think this feud does have in the middle, I'm still not going to use Bob Orton, and I have everything plus for him, and I'm going to do over 100 million. I just don't like it. It's just not my style. So nothing take away from anybody else. It's just one of those things that just like gets me.
Gotcha. Well, no worries. Like I say, we'll run his botch build too. But to make this one happen for your trainers, nicely, we used Brutus on Disciple. We used Disciple on Brutus. Red moves that deal damage do 75% more. Black MP starts with 2. You need Woods for Black MP starts with 4. So that's going to give you your 7, and that's what you need right there. Then you're going to use anybody basically who does red finishers, but I mean, most people aren't going to have Rex Regum, so you're going for Bret Hart. Red finishers do 50%, and Snoop Dogg for red moves do 40%. If you had Rex, you could get another 10% in there, but, no big deal.
We're assuming no turkey, huh?
Yeah, Turkey's so rare. Like we ruled him out a long time ago too, because so many people don't. I mean, I don't have him. Rusty doesn't have. Like he is. When we polled the community, they were like, there's like a few things like the Ghost Whopper, which that one is not going to be back in the game unless they reskin it. But I mean, how many Thanksgivings has been there, and the Gooker is still super rare.
So we're changing the name of the show from Champions Chat to Shrimp Chat.
Oh, I like it. Nice.
No, I know he was a tough one to get, but just like Scopely has a way of doing this. I finally ended up charting him 2 Thanksgivings ago, and then I pulled him out of a bag like twice right after that.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, come on, are you doing this? You tortured me all these years.
Of course.
And all of a sudden you just give it twice. I mean, I was happy for it. I got the shards and all, but like when they do that, it just makes you want to pull the hair out,
Yeah. Well, for the plate situation, we're not running anything special. In fact, this is a 100% move damage strap plus double takedown 2s. It is a red takedown 2 that has 200%, of course, but we're not going 6. We don't need any plates. Just for those who are going to say it like, oh, the NWO plate, you're not actually making any gems, so the NWO plate doesn't work for that because you got to break some red gems. And there's not really a move plate in the Ultimate that I, for this setup anyway. We'll talk about it when we get to the Botch gem build. This is just pure move damage goodness. We are going up against Acrobat Delo, so we are going to see that 100% buff, but again, going up against an Acrobat in general isn't that super rare. We are not facing a defensive Acrobat, so we're not going to see that boost there. So keeps it.
You can if you want. If you go to Backlash Hard, there is the Hurricane.
That's true. It could go up against her.
I don't know how you're feeling on this Friday night, but if you
well, let's see what he does without that extra layer first here. So he's got 75 million health, and it is gone. Gone. Done. So that's a turn 1 win, easy against any Acrobat in the game. No questions asked.
Yeah, you're targeting Jacob basically in Showdown because people use him with the low MP build.
Right.
Gem damage reduction, all this kind of stuff. And guess what? I'm coming in, or you're coming in, Lee, with all of this move damage and goodbye pickup as a defense.
Yep, absolutely. So let me show you what we just did on the finisher here by itself. That's 62 million just on the finisher, plus what you hit on the first red move, which is 10. So that's 73 million. Now I just wanted to show this real quick before we go after Hurricane. In 99 MP only, we don't power rate 99 MP, but in the 99 MP era only, you can go ahead and run this setup twice, which means we just hit 10 million. We're hitting another 10 million here, and then our finisher is going to hit for 94 million. So, not a bad hit. That's 99 MP only, but he still hits over 75 million without 99 MP. So
against an acro,
against an acro, yes, it is specifically against an acro. And what did we say? What is the? Sorry, my brain just glitched. When we go against Hurricane, what is that third move doing for us? Oh, it hits it twice. That's right.
Yeah.
Backlash hard, but I don't think I don't have the road opened up to Hurricane.
It should be there because we were doing it last night.
We were on. Yeah, we were on the other store, candy store.
Oh, you're
Again,
on yours. You're on your
I'm on
Candyland.
my
Okay.
CC account and I haven't opened it up, so I won't
Okay,
take the
that's right.
time to do that. But basically,
And
it just hits it twice. So that 60
yeah,
something million is going to be 120 million on the finisher,
that's
and
right.
not even having to worry about hit buffing it twice. So with the move damage alone, you're 78 to 100 million easy going up against any acrobat, and if you go up against a defensive acrobat, Jacob Fatu again, you're destroying things. So that's one way
Okay.
to run him. Flex, I accidentally exited out of. Ah, now I got all the interstitials. Hold on, and then I'll have you. I mean, I know how I ran him with the botch build, but I'll have you tell me your botch build once I get back to him, so that we can compare that.
Yep. Let me pull up my Candyland just so I have it.
Yeah, no
'Cause-
worries. All right, so let's see. Should be black, black, red. Are you doing the sub or are you doing the rib breaker?
You really just asked me that? If I'm doing the sub, what do I look like? No, I don't do
Oh,
subs.
I know.
I don't do subs. No, 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 no. I mean, I might if it's significant, like with mommy, I might use that in a certain mode, but
Right.
I don't do subs. I'm a
All
snob.
right. No, that's fair. All right, so we're running the leg trap and Saguri. Same move we just did.
Yeah,
7 MP
yeah.
black, deal damage.
Black, red.
What's
Yeah,
that?
so we're gonna use black, black, red. So what we're gonna do? You have 99, so you don't need four. Go to the entourage.
But remember, we don't power rate 99
No,
MP,
I know.
so.
We're simulating just so you don't have to search unless you really want to search for black MP if you don't have it on there. You have it on
Oh,
there,
yeah,
right?
I've
So
got
just
Woods still on there. It's Woods and Disciple are still on there,
yeah.
so.
So you're gonna put Andrade on the front.
Yep,
You're gonna put
that's how I ran.
Alliance Austin on the back
Yep,
because he's the sports card. So it's very I like the way they do this now. It's very holistic. It's also a
yep,
pain in the butt if you don't get the card, then you got to wait to get him.
right. And then who's your
So
fourth?
on the fourth, well,
You
this is gonna
running
be a
Connecticut Blue Blood?
botch black. So for me, if we're gonna use are we gonna use the botch blade on this? Are we allowed
Oh
with
yeah,
the
yeah. I
X?
mean, again, it's just however we build him up. If that makes him super rare, that is the trade off on the scores. So
So then basically what we're gonna do is was it Z Knight on that?
okay, yeah, we can run Zombie Knight. Yeah, that will definitely bump
It's gonna
his score.
it's
I
gonna be
tend
very
not
low.
to use Zombie Knight just because he's so rare in the community, but we
Let's do this.
can.
Let's do Stunning Austin. Do Stunning Austin instead.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Stunning Austin is fair game. He's like
Yeah.
$10 this week if you want him, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a great fighter, but in terms of entourage, he's now perhaps the best entourage right now in the game.
He's pretty significant. I mean, he can do damage. He's not my gameplay, but he can do
Right.
damage. I just wouldn't use him. I mean,
Yeah.
there's another striker Austin that is phenomenal and has like
Right.
49 moments. I'd rather
And
use him.
free to play, plus they keep giving him all sorts of stuff. All right, so we've got that on there. We're gonna switch to oh crap. I'm gonna have to load the stinking plate mover currency. So we're going to load the 100% gem damage strap, and then just give me a second to load the plate mover currency. And then, Flex, you can tell me what plates you're wanting me to run.
Yeah, so whenever you're ready, just let me know.
Yeah, it'll take a sec. I got to find the chip bag. I got to open the chip bag, which, by the way, I could use a bag of chips right now. That sounds, I just made myself hungry. But then I got to get back to the character, so I'm almost there. All right, there we go. Okay, what plates? Oh, and you know what? I didn't have any plates on him. Still needed to reload that anyway, but I could have done it without. So, what plates are we running, Flex?
Yeah, so we're gonna do the 8X, the botch.
Okay, the botch slapped. Let me find
We're gonna do
it.
botch slot. Yep.
There it is. Botch
And
slapped.
we're gonna do the red rumble.
Red Royal Rumble. See, I only have one of those on my account, and it lives on Powerhouse Hogan. So that's one reason why on my personal, I'll be running him the moves. Well, when I get him. I'll be running the move damage way. But okay, all right. So we've got him loaded up. You see the moves. You see the entourage. Double Austin, by the way. And you see the plates. Now we're going to go into battle. And again, this is pretty much what I ran. Minus the botch slapped. I didn't put that on there on our preview. But it's pretty much what I ran. But just to make sure I'm not crazy, Flex, you tell me what order to hit him in and all that.
So it's just going to be. Hold on.
It's just going to go one, two, three,
gonna,
right?
Because you're going to do an MP build. You're going to be an MP boost. You're going to do
Yep.
that. You're going
Then
to do
play
the
down the
botch.
botch, and then we're going to hit the
Yeah,
finisher.
there's a way to lay down. We're not going to be super scientific here, but there's a way to lay down the botch to get more more damage out of it, squeeze it out.
Okay.
But right, like for me, I would put it anywhere there's loot gems.
Right. Yeah, anywhere there's loot boxes, best as possible. Yep.
Yeah, because I'm spamming that area, I'm guaranteed damage on that, and anytime I get a guaranteed an RNG based game, I'm
Right.
taking it. So
Yep.
that's
And
the
then
way
that does also leave some black gems exposed, couple red gems that are hitting those 8x multis.
Yeah, I also like. You're going to clip this way too. So that's another way to play it based on which rumble plate you're using. But hit the finisher on that. This should actually probably be about. You'd have the red rumble, right? It's probably be about 55, 60 million.
Okay, so he's got 74 million health before I click the button. I'm clicking the finisher button. So
you're going against Elo, so you're also getting the 20%
yep.
advantage.
There's 37 million with that, and then he's going to throw the red rumble, which is good because he missed most of those 8x gems.
Yeah.
That's another 34, so he hit 63 million with that setup.
And he missed some stuff.
Yeah, he missed 2 big 8x gems, but he hit over the 63 million or the 60 million mark. So before we even do the power rating, we're gonna do a poll, and you guys are gonna decide. Flex, you can vote too. Which move set are we power rating? Are we power rating the gem damage or the move damage build? I'm good with either because both of them are pretty good. It's a 1-minute poll. So make sure you cast your vote. Are we power rating the gem damage or the move damage build? Both hit over 60 million. Both pretty straightforward. I like Boss Man. I like him. I think he's a good A tier card. I'm excited for him.
He has good utility. Yeah, he has good utility. Can you run him? What's he doing move damage wise against against Scott Steiner, for example? Run that build.
Yeah,
and I think we should power rank that because this is going to be a low score because of how much he needs. He's fast. I mean, it's fast, right? It's just boom, boom, boom. You're touching the board once, right? And you're just placing the botch stuff. It could be a mindless build too, in terms of not in a bad way,
right?
But not everybody wants to sit there and play foreplay with their phone. I have a different word for it. I'm not going to use it on the stream, but
thank you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble here.
Rusty and I always say we have a PG stream, and then actually 79% said move damage, so we'll power rate him on the move damage. But I agree, it is good to look at Scott Steiner. We say we have a PG stream, and then we say stuff that gets a little out of hand, and it happens.
Yeah, not me. I'm innocent.
You're innocent. Yeah, never once has Flex said a dirty word.
Never has Flex. Well, I can't. Well, you're recording now too. So
yeah, that's right.
I'm really good.
We are recording. Yeah. You are on candid camera, sir.
Stop it, Dick. Show with the sub build. We don't need the melatonin stuff right now.
Wow, hip designer, you have Gooker? That's crazy. Flex, he says he doesn't know how to use them though. So if you got a build for Gooker, you can drop it in the chat there. Well, actually, I guess you can't because they need to give you whatever magic it is that allows you to post in the chat. But all right, so he's got 31 million damage is what we're doing against Scott Steiner. So you do target acrobats by far, but he's still going to get the turn 1 win against the 6 gold.
Well, is he still stunning?
Yeah, he still stuns. The stun is not what changes. If you don't go against acrobat, you don't get the 100% move damage buff. So
yeah, so he's a turn 2.
Yeah, so he's a turn 2, so he's still stunning him. You're going to get 30 million a turn instead of 60 million or 75 million turn 1. So either way, he's doing good, I think. So, all right, well, we're going to power rate him based on the move damage build. So let me go into the boss man here. Both gem or move damage did over 60 million easy. So again, he's a 5 in damage. We're going to up the damage ratio of what they need when the new meta drops, hopefully next month. We'll see. As for speed, at least 2 of the following need to be true. MP charges equal to or lesser than 6 MP. Moves recycle flawlessly and or animations are quick, resulting in a feud win under 45 seconds. Now, Flex, for that 6 MP, it doesn't have to be every one of the moves if one of the moves loads all of the other moves. So he is a 7 MP, but that does load the 9 and 10 flawlessly. So the 9 and 10 aren't counting against him. We're just counting the 7
Right.
MP, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the 7 MP is okay because the one that we're going to use for him, the disciple, actually helps his build. So it's not just
Right.
like a filler MP build. So I don't, even though it's a 7, it shouldn't really get used against him because, I mean, it still helps him. I mean, obviously
Right.
it'd be nicer to have 100 or 150 on that, but
Right.
you know,
Yep.
it still
So
counts.
so the objective scoring, he's a 4 for this category. He's 7 MP. He does reload flawlessly. He's turn 1 against acros. He's turn 2 with a stun against anyone else. So he's not gonna. They're not gonna get a turn. He's gonna win, but it is gonna take a little bit longer for the turn 2 win, etc. So a 4 there. But now we go into the votes for readiness. Character needs 0 to 1, so it means they can need one special thing and still be a 5. Special things, that's plate, gear, moment, or etc. For a 4, character needs 2 special things, plate, gear, moment, rare trainer. For a 3, they need 3 special things, and for a 2, they need 4 special things. While I'm setting up the poll, Flex, tell me what you think about his readiness.
He didn't really. It wasn't anything. I mean, the 100% move damage drop is pretty common now. I mean, it's on the
Yeah.
wall. I mean, it's not scandalous.
Right.
So the entourage is relatively free-ish. I mean, even if you don't have Snoop, you have somebody else that can do 30 or 40%.
Right.
Um,
Tons of 30% move
yeah.
damage
So
coaches out there.
yeah, yeah. I think I think his readiness is pretty up there. No,
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't need any.
just going to look at him with what we've got. You've got your free tier Brutus on there. Now, granted, you need to take Brutus up to 26k, but by next month you'll be able to, right? That's only a restriction for right now that you can't. Bret Hart isn't rare anymore, and Snoop, like you said, if you count him as rare, you got Karrion Kross, you got Hall of Fame DDP, you've got Ozzy Werewolf is rare, so I wouldn't use that as an example. But there's a number of people that will do 30%. Well,
Well,
I'm sorry, Ozzy's gem
yeah,
damage. Never
werewolf
mind.
is the gem damage. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
if
Yeah.
you
Sorry
really
about
want to
that.
hurt people, you would say Naya. You would be
Right.
hurting Bob by saying too.
Yeah.
She's 30-30. But yeah,
30-30.
there's several. There's Chelsea, I think, does it as well, right? So not Zombie Chelsea, the other Chelsea, I think she
Right.
does 30-30. So there's options that are there if you don't have Soup, and Soup's become pretty common. I've been pulling him quite a bit lately.
I have
Um,
two. Yeah.
Cross is more rare than Snoop. Snoop's been given out for free. Cross has been given out for free too. I mean, for free because I mean, if you're doing any kind of pulls, even 7 lots or even single pulls, I've seen him drop a lot, higher rarities. I think he's been
Right.
on the wall, essentially getting away. So with some of the stuff that's available now, he's actually not horrendous. I wouldn't use him because there's so many great techs, especially modern. But
Yeah.
he's there, right?
He's
So for the
not
purpose
great.
of what we're doing now, he's available. So
Right.
you have options. Mood is still very rare. Let's not talk about that. Don't do
uh,
that.
Baby Ice says Cross is more rare than Snoop. Snoop has been given out for free. I don't remember when Snoop was given out for free, but I don't doubt it. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it at all. So, all right, versatility. So for versatility score, 5, the character would need to be competitively usable in feud, boss, and showdown. And the character needs a special gem type, which he does. He's got Botch gems. For a 4, character is competitively usable in at least 2 of the 3 between Feud, Boss, and Showdown. For a 3, character is competitively usable in 1 of those modes. And for a 2, the character is really not competitively usable, but he'll win in tours and blitzes. So again, I'm going to type in the poll. Flex, tell me what you think about Bossman in Feud, Boss Battle, and Showdown.
99, definitely use him, especially the way that you just played him, because you can do get extract even more move damage out of him. You can control the mode. He's obviously top line this feud. He's not somebody that I'm going to use there. I would use him in Showdown if I can
Okay.
control the game that way and get the damage that I need, and use and if I wanted to, I can tag out to somebody else to get to that point just to get a wreck, whatever that wreck might be. So I would use him in Showdown, especially if I'm seeing Jacob a lot, and I just know go-to guaranteed win for me, unless there's going to be MP downs on that, is going to be him, right? And knowing me, I'm going to put 4 MPs plus Santa on there. So even if you have an MP down, I'm still going to get in there
You're
and
still
wreck
going to get there turn 1.
yeah, because it's so annoying to see him all the time. I understand why people use him. I don't use Jacob. He's a good card. I just don't use him. And part of the reason is because I didn't get him in month of debut. I got him after that. So usually when that happens, I try not to use those cards. So I'm very spiteful. But very spiteful. But yeah, I would use him in Showdown. I would not use him in Boss. I
I
would
wouldn't
not
use him in
necessarily
Boss.
use him in. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily use him in Feud, just because it's not my type. And again, for that era rack class, I'm going to use Bionic now.
Yep.
So I would use him in Showdown. That's kind of it. So he's kind of pegged to that, I guess.
Yeah. I would say I don't know that I would use him beyond the night. I don't know. We'll see. Beyond the 99 MP, I might still use him in Feud here and there, but he's not going to be a go-to for me there. Showdown, maybe. Boss, no. So I personally would have gone a 3 on this category. However, Discord went a 5, and the chat here went a 4, but the 4s have more numbers. So yeah. So 4 is what
Yeah.
the community voted. So I'll put in here. Flex says fine in Feud. That's not how you spell Feud. Good in Showdown. No Boss. There we go. That way you get
Yeah, I mean,
your
basically
recognition.
anybody and everybody can and likely will use him in Showdown, especially if the requirement is having an acro slot 1. You're going to see a lot of Jacob there, and he's going to get dismantled. You probably won't see him now once
Yeah.
Bossman becomes, a week or two and Bossman becomes normal. But he's going to get wrecked.
Yeah.
He's just going
Well,
to get wrecked.
then it all comes down to the world infamous Entourage. So for a 5, this character's entourage ability, trainer or coach, needs to be something you don't want to go without. For a 4, it would need to be a widely used trainer or coaching ability, helps the character that you use it on reach their full potential. For a 3, it's a niche trainer coaching ability that may not be used much but is valuable when needed. And for a 2, you only really use that trainer ability if you don't have someone that does the job better. His entourage ability, we already saw it because we used it on the Disciple, but power gems will add 75% more damage on each attack. Purple moves start with 2. Power gems 75, purple moves start with 2. I'm going to start the poll. Flex, tell me what you think about this entourage ability.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. I'm not. I
Are you
can't
going to
think of
use
anyone
it
right.
widely?
Not right now, but something like that is built for a future, right? So I like that because we haven't had that, right? A purple NP for that. So I'm trying to think who would be a good fit for that off the top, and I can't think of anyone just yet.
Yeah.
But I like anything that is 75% is a good number, obviously. So I like it. It's the same thing like we talked about Penta last week. Do you like this entourage? Yeah, who are you going to use it on? Nobody right now.
Yeah.
But the game's not ending today, right? So to
Right.
me, when I'm looking at, I'm always looking
You're
broader
going to use it on
and longer.
Disciple. Yeah.
Yeah, I like what it is. It's not like some of the ones that we've seen that you're never gonna use ever.
Right.
Like, what am I supposed to do with minus sub 1 turn? Like, what am I
Right.
supposed to do with this? Like we
Soupy
used to have.
Hendry
So
says Turtle, Kofi, or Woods, maybe Dom.
I thought about it. Well, Turtle Kofi is I think that's a yellow build, so you use a different entourage on him. But ironically, he would help himself, but you can't use it on himself. That
Right.
would be. But again, just for my play style, there's not somebody that I'm thinking off the top of my head that I would use purple on.
Right.
But there are options there that you can do, or they could release somebody that is a low MP charge that needs that. But again, I'm looking bigger picture, longer term. So to me, I like the entourage. It's not useless. I just
Right.
don't have a use for it right now.
Yep.
Dom is yellow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for his well, power gems.
Right.
He has a black and purple that has power gems, but either way, yeah, niche I think fits, and that's what the community went for is a 3. But I mean, again, the definition of that 3 is may not be used much, but very valuable when needed. And I think that's exactly what you're describing. Is you might not use it a ton on everybody that's around, but when you use it, it's really gonna help. And I agree. I think that's perfectly it. So that makes him a 21, which means both the Disciple and Big Boss Man are 21 out of 25. That's a good number for. Oh, I put this in the wrong spot. No, I didn't. There it is. That's a good number for any free, or in the A tier's case, accessible through grind to play characters. That's a good number. Yeah. Let's look at where he fits. So he's a 5'4", 5'4", 3. That's easy to remember. So he's a 21. He's a powerhouse. Ooh, we don't have any powerhouses currently that are 21s, but Flex, this is going to catch some people. That puts him a point higher than the relentless Kevin Owens. Talk to me about that one.
Well, those who know me know I love KO. They don't know the build that I use for KO, and it's very, very good. And I still use him, and it's not the build that everybody else uses. So to
Okay.
me, that's sacrilegious. However,
Uh-huh.
that is the rating system as what it is, and that's who's he in line with? Is that Kofi?
So yeah, Kofi Turtle Woods, Brett Zombie, Goldberg statue, and then again we just did the
Wow,
strikers, which is Chainsaw Charlie and Ramblin' Rabbit, Tomatonga, Bubba Ray Dudley, and Tech
wow,
CM Punk.
wow. So him and Brutus are both in the 21
Yeah,
taxonomy, huh?
yeah, that's what I'm
Interesting.
saying.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
both of them got a 21, which is interesting. I mean, if you ever want to do a like Kevin Owens re-rated video, I'll give you limited use license to do a power rating video. Bob did one for Batista Striker to say no, you guys got it wrong, and Bob was absolutely right. He
He likes him,
proved
yeah.
it. So if you wanna
He's
do a
good.
re-rating on Powerhouse KO, I give you permission,
Oh,
friend. So
he needs a seance, so I'm gonna
oh
have to
well.
abstain out of that. He's just gonna have organic. That's part of the reason why uh, he would be a lower score. But in terms of my love affair with him, yeah, I love him.
Yeah. Oh, and I believe
I
in
love his real
Super
life
Hendre
character.
says Boss Man is better than the power rating for Striker Nash. Now, to Bob and I think you Flex maybe were on the stream when I wasn't and did
Vinny,
the rating for Kevin Nash. So
I don't know if we did it for Vinny.
two Bob
Did
did.
we?
I thought you were with him, but again, it was one of the nights I was out. So
Might have been. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was that weekend because we debuted his stuff. Yeah, because we didn't have his stuff to use, if I'm not mistaken, that Thursday. So we would have done that Friday.
right.
So yeah, so I think it's because he needed the Yeet plate, the Yeet trip
Yes.
combo. That's probably what set him
And his
back. But yeah,
entourage ability is garbage.
and he has four gears, 3 gears, whatever it is.
Right.
His entourage ability is it's basura, as they
Yeah,
say.
so that I'll get those updated. I've got the videos loaded and ready to release here. A couple of them have. I'll get those loaded on the power rating sheet this weekend so everybody can see it. So that's it for this power rating video. I think both Disciple and Boss Man are darn good for what they are. Here in the next 2 weeks, because next week's stream stuff is a little bit different for me. I'm going to be out of town anyway. But in the next 2 weeks, we will have power rated the new Austin. That's the one I'm interested to see where he lands, because he's
so
nuts.
good.
I
He's
like
so
him a lot. Yes.
He's so good. Such a fun card.
I know.
And he's got gear already and everything, and he's got the moment already. Like, he's already kitted nicely. I like him a
I
lot.
know, yeah. And the preview I didn't even have the moment. I had the gear, but I didn't have the moment. So he's even better if you get that. So,
Yeah,
well, that's it for this video. Be sure to follow TWF Gaming on YouTube and Twitch. The YouTube version of the link will be on the description of this video when it drops on the Champions Chat YouTube. And for those watching on YouTube or Twitch, please go ahead and go to Champions Chat. Subscribe on YouTube and Twitch to us as well, because you know, you hear YouTubers say that garbage phrase all the time, but it's absolutely true. Subs really help. So we try to be helpful to the community. That's why we do these power ratings. If you would, just hit the subscribe for those 2 channels, and we'll see you on the next one, friends. Bye.